Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cats of the Underworld podcast, also known as the only podcast on the internet.
The only one.
Yeah, I am Aaron, also known as Chip, the owner of the YouTube channel Chip Flake.
And I'm Andrew, known as Andromeda, owner of Andromeda.
Who? So we have a very interesting topic to talk about today. It's quite an interesting time to talk about this because of the whole situation going on with Twitter right now.
Good old Twitter, everyone.
As you probably found out by now, everybody's favorite rich boy, Elon Musk, decided to do a little purchase of a beautiful little social media website.
I love that guy, by the way.
Say slash S.
Definitely a decent human being.
Yeah.
Absolutely not a massive piece of, you know what I'm about to say. Yeah.
So we're not going to talk specifically about that today, but it is kind of relevant because people are talking about, is Twitter still going to be a viable platform for like artists and content creators in the near/far future?
Mm-hmm.
And people are discussing, should we be moving to a different platform? And
which one?
That's the question.
There are not that many, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of new like competitor websites popping up.
Oh.
I don't know if you've ever heard of any.
I've heard of one. I can't think of the name right now, but I know everybody's like flocking to that one.
The fact that you can't think of the name, I feel like, is a bad sign.
Yeah, no, not really.
Like this is just like my personal opinion, but I kind of don't have any faith in like these new startups.
Yeah, no, it's like those YouTube competitors. They're like online for like, I don't know, like a month or two, mm-hmm. and then they realize how much server costs there are with having a video website that hosts videos. So unfortunately, I don't think any website will ever beat YouTube in terms of videos.
Yeah, and
or Twitter, I don't know.
In this particular situation, I feel like the best bet is for a already existing website to like regain its popularity. Mm-hmm. And I feel like what we're going to discuss in this episode is going to kind of explain why I think that. So basically, what I've kind of been hinting at, I guess, Tumblr. Who remembers Tumblr?
Our favorite website, Tumblr, guys. Who remembers that one?
So from my perspective, at least, it seems like Tumblr is the one specific place that people are seeing as like the main competitor to Twitter right now. It's making a big comeback. And people, especially artists, are kind of thinking of moving over there. The problem is, a very big reason why Twitter is still on top is because it allows porn and not safe for work content. And everybody loves that shit.
Yeah, lots of porn on Twitter.
I mean, even as an artist, it's... I feel like it's a pretty difficult place to grow a new audience, but if you're an already established artist, sharing your not safe for work works on Twitter is a pretty good option for a lot of people. So that's kind of the reason why Twitter is still on top. As you probably know, Tumblr does not allow not safe for work content. There is a little asterisk on there.
But I was about to say, but Aaron... I recently heard about a rumor that says that Tumblr will allow porn again.
Whoa. Yes and no. Yes, but actually no.
What? Oh my god.
First of all, I do want to put out a little disclaimer that we're currently recording this episode on November 10th, so... Any information we talk about is correct at the time of recording, but it is possible that new information comes out. Things change and stuff.
Disclaimer.
But as of right now, November 10th, Tumblr actually recently introduced allowing nudity back to the website.
That's not porn.
I mean, depends on your
technically
definition,
softcore porn, but
yeah. So
I thought they were allowing porn again, considering they had a porn ban. No.
Yeah. So we can kind of get into why that was why that rumor went around.
Yes, please.
But basically, nudity is allowed again. Female presenting nipples, as they worded it in their original ban.
What about male presenting nipples?
Those have always been fine, dude.
Free the nipple, bro. What the hell?
Free female presenting nipples.
Free female presenting nipples.
Yes, so you're allowed to upload artwork and I'm assuming images, photographs and stuff featuring nudity as long as you tag it, which we will also kind of explain what that means later on.
I would be interested in like what the limits are.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like art? Like, how like back in the day people used to draw like naked women and stuff and that's considered art? Or is it like, I don't know, like a fanfic of a person who's like naked,
or like
a real person who they drew naked?
Oh, you mean
is that
fan
okay?
art?
Or fan art, I guess.
Okay.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. So basically, according to the current community guidelines, all nudity is fine as long as there's no
penetration.
Yes, that.
Okay.
And what would you call it, like a overt focus on genitalia. So they are like implying that it's artistic nudity that's allowed.
So if you draw like a guy with a massive dick, that's not allowed. Like a ridiculously sized penis. Also, this episode is definitely not going to get monetized anymore. I'm sorry.
Well, that seems to be what the new guidelines are implying, at least. It might be kind of a case-by-case basis. The problem is they're still kind of vague about it.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying how vague they are.
But I guess we will see. Anyway.
Not that I use Tumblr, but I still find it annoying, the whole situation.
So, to kind of shed some light on it, the whole like thing with Tumblr and why they're only allowing a little bit, why they banned it originally is really interesting, honestly. So a little bit of history lesson for you.
Ooh.
Basically, the original porn ban was implemented on December 17th, 2018.
That was 4 years ago. Almost 4.
Feel old yet?
Yep, I do.
So actually, before that fateful day, pretty much any not safe for work content was allowed on Tumblr, and that's what a lot of people mostly used it for, because it was a good way to find that stuff. It was also a pretty good place for like queer people, like LGBT type, content specifically catered toward that community rather than, typical cishet male nonsense.
The darn cishets.
So when the announcement about the ban came out, everybody was understandably very shocked and upset because the main reason they were using the site was no longer going to be a thing. So why did they ban it in the first place? Andrew, do you know why they banned it?
I know that Tumblr was bought out by a different company. Maybe that has something to do with it.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So
they're just racist. Is that it?
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
So basically, the main speculated reason why they did that originally is because of pressure from Apple, our favorite technology company.
Love Apple, just like Elon Musk.
What
a great company.
So it basically all started when the Tumblr app, reportedly went missing from the iOS store. That happened around November 15th of the same year. Over the next few days, Tumblr periodically posted updates that they were working on the issue. And on November 19th, within an update post about the iOS app issue, Tumblr included a paragraph about how they discovered and removed some child sexual abuse content that had somehow made it onto the site.
Oh boy.
I don't really know why they included that in an update about how the iOS app was not working anymore.
Yeah, that's weird. It's like, oh yeah, so the app is back. Also, we found child porn? Like, what?
Yeah, so...
Where did that come from?
Yeah, so obviously that's why people connected the two. Like, you know, it's not difficult to speculate that, you know, Apple found out about this content, you know, put pressure on Tumblr to get rid of it, saying, you know, we're going to remove your app completely until this is resolved.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, Tumblr is actually, honestly, was never really that big of a company. I mean, sure, they were a big social media platform and stuff, but they still never really matched the same level as like Twitter, Facebook, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for an app that hosts not safe for work content and doesn't want to host anything illegal, for obvious reasons. So basically, I don't know if that's like actual factual truth or anything, but you can kind of infer that a smaller company with less budget would have less resources to be able to continue to, you know, scan for this type of content and make sure for 100% certain there's no possible way that it can get through. So that's kind of my speculation as to why they decided to completely ban not safe for work, like, at all. Like, obviously not just the illegal stuff, but also just porn in general.
Mm-hmm.
However, Apple has always kind of been anti-porn in general.
Has it?
Yeah, it bans a lot of sexual apps and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, a lot of people ask, you know, why would Tumblr have to remove all NSFW to stay on the iOS store, but something like Twitter doesn't have to, Reddit doesn't have to?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That's why... That's where, like, you know, the scale of these sites comes in, you know. That's why I think, you know, this, because Tumblr's a smaller platform, mm-hmm. It was easier, cheaper for them to just completely get rid of not safe for work stuff than face getting yeeted off the iOS store.
Yeah.
If, for example, Apple put pressure onto Twitter to get rid of the NSFW stuff, or they will delete it from the App Store, Twitter could just say nah, and then, you know, how many people who really like using Twitter would then consider not buying an iPhone anymore so that they could use Twitter, get access to Twitter again, you know?
Yeah.
Versus a platform like Tumblr, it doesn't hurt Apple at all to remove Tumblr from the App Store.
Bigger companies have like bigger leverage, I suppose.
Exactly. Whereas it hurt Tumblr a lot to get removed from the iOS store, and potentially face getting removed from, you know, Android and other platforms, mm-hmm. if they continued to find illegal stuff.
I just find it a bit weird that Tumblr gets like shit on while Twitter and Reddit are still like okay with having not safe for work stuff on the apps.
Yeah,
like, I know they're like big companies and they have like a lot of power and stuff, but it just kind of seems like a massive mega company shitting on the little guy, you know what I mean?
I mean, it kind of is. It's like Apple enforcing their own rules because they can, you know.
But then some players do not have to abide with the rules.
Mm-hmm.
This is we live in a society, guys.
Wait, what? No one told me this. But yeah, that's another discussion entirely. Like, how long is this gonna actually last?
Yeah.
Is it possible that in the future, tech companies put more pressure on social media sites? Is it possible that, like, Reddit and Twitter could eventually lose the ability to host NSFW content? We don't really know.
Is this also what's kind of bad about big companies being kind of like a monopoly kind of thing? Because like obviously if you buy an iPhone, all you can do is download apps from the App Store. You can't like download third-party apps or anything like that. Whereas on Android, you can, and there are several alternative app stores for Androids. I know there's something you can do on Apple, but I don't know.
It's accessible.
Yeah, no, it's kind of hard to do. But on Android, you can just get any app you want, and it's pretty cool. And yeah, I just monopolies are never good.
Yeah,
I feel like we should try to not give all of our data and money to big monopoly companies. But yeah,
that would be great.
That would be very, very nice.
Yeah. So, in jumping back to recent times now, recently this new rumor went around that Tumblr was completely reversing the NSFW ban. And the short answer is no, they're not.
Well, that was boring.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah. Basically, what happened was Tumblr introduced a new system called community labels. So these are basically just tags you can add to your post, and people can choose to hide that specific tag if they don't want to see it. So, for example, there's a community tag for drug use, there's a community tag for violence, and there's one for sexual themes as well.
What exactly is violence on Tumblr? Like not gory stuff, right? Like actual like people dying.
Yeah, well, that would be like completely against the community.
But like what violence? Just like general violence.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it specifically because I've been focusing on the whole like sexual thing.
Okay.
But I'd imagine that would be things like cartoon violence, maybe like anime scenes with a bit of gore and things like that.
Yeah. All right. Also drug use?
Like
weed?
Implications and things like that. So smoking? Obviously it's a way for people to turn those things off so they don't see those things if they don't want to.
Okay.
And you can kind of see where the rumor came from, considering one of the new tags is literally sexual themes.
Yeah. Sexual themes.
Actually, did you know that NSFW content has actually never been banned on Tumblr in the form of writing?
Oh, like fanfics and stuff.
Yeah, only images and videos were banned, but you could always write sexual fanfics or whatever. Or like sexual health texts, like as mature as you want, as long as it's text, it was always fine.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? How like writing down like what you're gonna do to a person is okay, but like making a drawing where you do something to a person is not okay.
Yeah.
Kind of weird and kind of backwards, if you ask me. I suppose.
But also, I feel like it's a lot easier to avoid a lewd text post than it is an image. Look at an image, you've already seen it. It's already in your brain.
Burned in your brain when you see that shit.
When you read a text, you read a couple of words, you're like, oh, I'm done.
Good point.
So basically, that's where the whole rumor started. And then, funnily enough, 2 days after they announced the whole community tags thing, the CEO of Automatic, which is the company that currently owns Tumblr.
Don't think I've ever heard of that company. Do you know what other stuff they have made? What are their products?
They own WordPress actually.
They own WordPress.
Yeah.
That's a big company, isn't it? WordPress.
Yeah, pretty decent little company.
Okay.
So anyway, like the CEO is named. His name sounds really like German, but he's American, so I'm gonna pronounce it like an American.
Okay.
Matt Mullenweg. He personally came out with a blog post, clearing up the rumor, which is very interesting.
Okay.
Because it actually provides a little bit more context about that original porn ban in 2018. Also, a bit of important extra context. So Tumblr was actually owned by Verizon when they made that original decision.
Fucking Verizon, what?
Mm-hmm. And Automatic only acquired it in 2019.
Did they acquire it automatically?
Automatically after spending like 3 million, I think it was something like
3 million.
They got it really cheap, like.
Yeah, that's not that much for a big website.
No, just to be clear, that's not. I don't know if that's the actual. I didn't look into the actual price of it. That's just what I have in my head for some reason. It might be accurate, it might not be.
Okay.
But I do know that they acquired it for very little, a lot less than Verizon originally paid for it.
Did which company owned Tumblr before?
That I don't know. I assume the original creator of the site.
How come they sold it? Like, why did they want to sell it? Do you have any information on that?
Actually, I think before then it was owned by Yahoo.
Yahoo? What?
Yeah.
Fucking Yahoo.
So,
is Yahoo still a thing, by the way? Does that website still exist? I remember my first email was fucking Yahoo. And it was I don't know if it still exists, but it was literally called spamemail24@yahoo.com.
Everyone go spam that email right now.
It was really fun. This is kind of unrelated. I'm sorry about this, but I just have to tell you guys a story. So when I first got PayPal, I used that email to use PayPal with. And one day I wanted to change my email, but I couldn't for some reason. I think I lost access to that email. and I called fucking PayPal and I was like, yeah. So basically I want to change my email. And and the woman on the phone was like, oh yeah, just like tell me what account and stuff, blah, blah, security questions. I answered those all correctly. And then she was like, oh yeah, what's the email associated to your account? And I was like, listen, this is going to sound like a joke, but my email is spamemail24. Yeah, she found it very funny.
Oh.
Anyways, Yahoo owned Tumblr. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the history of the site before the whole ban thing, though. But yeah. Anyway, back to the post that the CEO made.
What was his name? Mullenweg?
Yeah.
Mullenweg.
Mullenweg.
Yeehaw.
It's a really interesting post, though, because Matt himself states that he's actually pretty supportive of adult content.
Okay.
And he recognizes that adult content on Tumblr was kind of unique and like almost artistic in a way. And he acknowledges how it was like catered to more like minority communities than what you would find on other sites at the time.
Yeah.
And he explained in that post that although the anti-porn policy was still in place, they were working on making it more open and, quote, common sense.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, the interesting thing also is that this post specifically mentions Apple. Back when the ban originally happened, Tumblr was never open about why exactly that happened. They just said like, oh, we just want to make the community more safe. So people speculated about the Apple thing, but it was never actually confirmed.
Yeah.
obviously Matt wasn't working with the company when they made that decision, but it's still interesting that he specifically mentions Apple, like Apple's anti-porn nature.
Yeah, so
regarding
that
apps in their store.
he confirms it, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Interesting.
So that's pretty big evidence as to why that might have actually been the reason for the ban in the first place.
Damn. Do you think Twitter is ever gonna have that kind of thing, like just a porn ban?
Yeah, that's the thing that we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what Elon Musk has up his sleeve. I'd imagine he fucking loves porn, dude. Like he's probably like some kind of porn addict,
dude,
bro.
He probably has like a treasure trove of hentai.
Yeah. Damn.
Like specifically hentai, he doesn't fap to 3D.
Oh yeah, dude. I know he loves anime, bro. He probably has like a 30 terabyte fucking hentai hard drive, bro. He just puts it on shuffle. By the way, if you didn't notice, I really do not like Elon Musk.
Wait, what?
What? Sorry, bro.
So the post also kind of explains a bit more about why they had to keep the ban in place, and it's kind of all down to the stuff we talked about earlier about how, you know, Apple's this massive company, they can enforce anything they want on a smaller company like Tumblr.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, you know, something like Twitter and Reddit can kind of get away with it. And
kind of sounds like lobbyism or something like that. Maybe they're paying Apple to be like, hey, you know, let's fucking shit on Tumblr for no reason.
No, I genuinely think that it's just because of like they both get a mutual you know, what's it called?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, insert word here.
Mutual benefit from each other.
Yeah.
You know, if Twitter was gone from the iOS store, Apple would suffer. If Reddit was gone from the iOS store, Apple would suffer. Tumblr gone from the iOS store.
I still think it's really unfair.
It is
fucking
unfair.
Apple having a anti-porn ban, and then like there's still the major websites or the major apps all have porn. So like, what the fuck is the point of the porn ban?
Okay, I mean, Instagram, for example, is one that doesn't.
Yeah, who cares about fucking Instagram anymore, bro?
I'm just saying it is possible for a social media to be successful and like not allow safe word content.
Yeah.
But then basically what I'm gathering from the post from the CEO is that they do kind of want to bring it back, but they can't because of, you know, the reasons we talked about earlier, but also because it's kind of a tricky time for adult content on the internet in general, because there's actually a lot of banks and other services that you need to make money with your app that don't want to work with other services that host adult content at all.
That's interesting.
So there's like certain credit card companies and stuff that you know, they don't want to be associated at all with any website that hosts adult content.
I find that interesting because I feel like back in the day, like maybe like 20 years ago, I feel like the only way you could get like actual porn on the internet was like fucking paying with your credit card, that kind of thing. Like premium content was all the fucking rage back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know much about that. But,
yeah. So that's weird. Yeah, because whenever you go on a fucking porn site, bro, like there's ads up your fucking ass, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's so many fucking ads. So like I'm wondering like why. Like, I'm sure it makes them a shit ton of fucking money. Why do they suddenly not want to advertise for them anymore? 'Cause that's all what companies care about, or banks. They want to make money.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a society.
Yeah, the whole story with Tumblr is just really interesting because, you know, back in the day, before smartphones were a thing, everyone went to tumblr.com, twitter.com, reddit.com. And, you didn't have to worry about the Apple iOS store because, people were mostly using the websites rather than apps. Then smartphones became a huge thing. Apps became a huge thing. People stopped using the Tumblr website. So Tumblr kind of had no choice but to conform to the iOS store rules.
That's sad.
Yeah.
What happened to people using computers?
Yeah, smartphones.
Fucking smartphones, bro. Yeah. If you're listening to this on a smartphone,
what?
Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm kidding.
What the hell? So yeah, now it's pretty interesting that they decided to bring back allowing nudity and stuff. It's a pretty cool step in the right direction, I think. However, I do have some personal issues with it.
Okay.
So basically, you have to tag it with a community tag for like nudity, right? And the question is then, how do I see posts with those tags in the first place? Well, you have to go into your account settings and turn them all on because they're off by default, which kind of makes sense.
Kind of like Reddit, I suppose.
But I also feel like how many people are actually going to go into their settings and turn that stuff on? Like, you're not going to get your content seen by many people, I feel like. Because most people aren't even going to realize that those things are off by default, no matter what you put your birthday in as when you made an account.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that. It's also very interesting, with the timing of Twitter freaking taking a nosedive. I don't know. Do you think Tumblr is gonna rise to the success that it used to have?
Rise to the top, bro. Cream of the crop. I mean, as hard as Twitter is fucking diving right now, it might happen. I don't know.
Well, personally, I don't think it will ever reach the same level as Twitter.
No,
Twitter
never.
has a way more mainstream appeal.
Yeah.
Tumblr is still pretty niche.
Yeah.
But it is I do kind of like the idea of it coming back as like a little little artist community for freaking nerds and stuff.
Yeah. Always support the underdog.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. As of right now, November 10th, you're allowed to post nudity on Tumblr. You're still not allowed to post orifices being entered by other limbs.
You have interesting hand motions right now. Wish you guys could see that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, maybe not.
But yeah, it's a very interesting discussion of where this whole thing is going.
I can't wait to hear the next phase of Tumblr's plan. I think it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, they're definitely going hard on the whole Twitter. People are leaving Twitter. We're gonna yoink that user base.
Yeah.
And it seems, as of right now, it seems to kind of be working. Like, people are actually unironically using Tumblr again.
It's actually crazy. I don't know anyone who actually uses Tumblr. Like, Tumblr was always just kind of like a website to look at funny comics and stuff. For me, at least. Or like art.
Yeah, it was one of those places, personally, I could never really get into.
Yeah, same. No, I tried it once and I was just like, yeah, I don't know, bro.
But I'm actually considering it now.
Yeah.
Because it seems pretty interesting, especially since a lot of artists and things are heading over there. Because, Twitter is paying for, you can pay for a
for the
verification
tick,
now, but it's different from having an official tick, and people are worrying that they're gonna have to pay for this for the verification in order to get their posts seen.
What are you doing, Elon?
Which obviously sucks for people who have businesses based around Twitter.
I mean, honestly, as a billionaire Or is he? Isn't he like a trillionaire now? Who's it? Is he a trillion? No, I don't think so. Right?
Well, I don't like.
He has a lot of money.
That.
Anyways, as a billionaire, I guess he knows how to make money. I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, oh, what if I just fucking charge people for something that was free before? So also, if everybody can get a verification badge, then what the fuck is the fucking point of it? Like, really?
I don't know, but honestly, Twitter feels like a weird experiment for him. Like he's just having fun with it. It's not even like a business for him anymore.
It's so annoying because like the whole Elon buying Twitter thing, it started out as a fucking joke.
We were all like, haha, yeah, that'd be funny.
It was a joke. He was like, oh, should I buy Twitter?
Yeah.
And now he actually fucking they actually made I can't believe it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, everything that's going down with Twitter is a topic for another time, I'd say.
Oh yeah. I got some more hot takes on Elon Musk.
Yeah. But
my
I don't
favorite billionaire in the universe.
Absolutely. I just find the whole situation, the whole concept with adult content with the internet and the whole story with Tumblr specifically is really interesting. And I'd love to know your thoughts. If you think that it's going to work out for Tumblr, do you think they're ever going to allow every type of NSFW content ever again? Do you think they're ever gonna grow as a platform to return to their original success? I'd love to know. Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Have a discussion.
Would you switch to Tumblr? Did you say that already?
I did not say that, but that is also...
Would you switch to Tumblr? Also, tell me your opinions about Elon Musk. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. I hope you found it interesting, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.
Good night.
Have a wonderful evening.
Or day.
Or morning, if you're insane.
Yeah.